It's becoming all too commonplace to hear about violent acts like mass shootings and other crimes in the news. What it's doing to our psyche can be insidious and manifests itself in different ways like depression, withdrawal from social situations, lack of concentration. We'd like to welcome back Roxanne Marion, the mental health strategist and founder of On My Own Terms. Thanks for coming back.
Hi, great.
We love having you here, but I hate talking about these subjects because it is just becoming too commonplace in our news. And I don't think a lot of people realize it just by hearing about it all the time, what it's actually doing to them emotionally.
Right. Yes. We have to consider the fact that anytime anything happens in this country, that it has a ripple effect, that it no longer is just Texas or didn't just happen in Newtown. It affects all of us. And when it does affect you, you're going on about your day taking the effects of mental health with you. And you have worries, you have wonder, you have pain. And I can't imagine, because I'm not a parent, what it was like for parents to drop their child off the next day. After Robb Elementary.
Well, it makes you also second guess the moment you step outside your front door. Well, what is today going to bring me?
Exactly.
Right.
And what did happen while I was at work was going on the news. And we here in Charleston, we realized that ripple effect because 7 years on Friday, it happened right here at Mother Emanuel. And we see the ripple effect that went through the country with the flowers people sent, the times that people came to visit and they wanted to talk about it and help. And we need to realize that that help needs to go beyond just at that place. There are a lot of flowers being laid down and talking amongst ourselves. But what about the people who are going to work?
Yes, so let's talk about that. Because we spend much of our lives at work.
Yes, we do.
And so you say to keep that conversation open.
Yes.
How do employers do that? How do employees do that?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about a proprietary method, a framework that I came up with, which is called PhD. And the first part of that is prioritizing. We have to make each other a priority again. And don't get me wrong, I know work is a priority. We want to talk about the bottom line. We want to talk about productivity. But if you prioritize your employees, how much more are they going to want to do for you?
Of course. Oh, absolutely.
So it does help to prioritize them because you have your productivity, your teamwork.
Morale gets boosted.
Exactly. Morale goes sky high.
Yeah. All right. What is the H?
The H is hope, to give people something that they could feel hopeful about. I think about the schools in this area and what if other kids had heard about what happened. Is there an instance where an employer can help out with some of the schools that the parents of some of those kids, if they work at that place, can you go and maybe donate some time, donate something like even pencils or papers, come talk to the kids, realize that we need to take ownership. And it's a big deal to take ownership. The kids love to see other adults come in.
Well, yeah, it changes their day. It can get a little humdrum after a while, and then when you see new faces come through, and friendly faces make a big difference, of course.
So
what is the D in the PhD?
The D is deliberate. Be deliberate with your employees. They're not just thinking of it the time you may talk about it, and in priority, don't let me forget, prioritize talking to them about it. But when you talk to them about it at the beginning of the day, be deliberate throughout the week. Be deliberate throughout the week, throughout the day, throughout the month. Keep making sure you go back and ask questions. How are you doing with this? Or how are we coming along?
And finally, what is your advice for someone who is just feeling particularly blue, who just can't seem to get out of the funk that this news has brought them?
Yes, they have to talk about it. Talk about with someone but make sure it is someone who is aware, they know the work rules. You're not just talking around the water cooler.
Yeah.
But speak to someone and even reach out to someone who has a degree and maybe a therapist. It's okay to get therapy and talk about this.
Absolutely, yeah. Professionals are out there. They're at our fingertips these days.
Yes, they are.
Roxanne, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us. We're back after this.
Thank you.